Hello, everyone.
Yo.
Welcome to yeah. Look, I'm trying to speak. I'm a little too excited. Welcome to PopNerdom. Yeah. hold on. I think this one because it's not only this. Because it's not only this, Hansi. It's not. It's also this.
Oh yeah.
So I know that I put the warning at the beginning of the episode every single time. Be warned, there will be spoilers. However, let me be very clear. We're going to spoil the shit out of this.
Yes.
Make sure you watch the last
This is a
episode of
spoiled
Mandalorian.
sandwich.
Because we have a lot to talk about, and it's gonna get big up in here. So, I'm your boy Six.
I'm your boy Hanz, sipping some buble.
Some bubble.
Some
And
buble.
yeah. And look, I don't want to fuck too much. Let's get right into it. Mandalorian season 2 finale. Yeah. Give me, Hansi, for you, a general speech of what this meant to you,
All
this
right.
whole episode.
You know me. I've been big the whole entire season, all of that, on time. I saw 45 minutes. I saw 10 more minutes than the use. I said, yeah, I can get behind this energy. Ugh, give me a little stretch. Emotionally ready. Watched it. Bro, it was... They didn't play... It started off... Pew, 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 pew. Started off like that. Ended like that. Yeah. That's my quick recap. Yep.
Peyton Reed, who's the director, he directed Ant-Man 1 and 2, right? And you can tell, nothing against every director of this show has been magical.
Yeah, yep.
Everyone. Filoni has his fucking big sandwich for the Ahsoka episode, but Robert Rodriguez has a big sandwich for the last episode. The first 3 episodes have, everybody last season, everybody has had, but this episode, above all of the episodes of Mandalorian, above all of them, was the most definitively Star Wars feeling, Star Wars looking, from all kinds of media, and most fantastically, I don't even know how to put this. It was so incredible all around.
We got all of the Star Wars fights, air, shooting, sabers, Mandalorian,
bro. And so
droids.
Reed, hats off. Droids walking around but here's the thing. The episode even starts with a fucking Imperial shuttle flying by.
Yep.
Something we haven't seen in forever. We haven't seen a specific Imperial shuttle. That's just to let you know that the mood that they set for this episode was specifically all in Star Wars. All in. Like, here it is. This is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to look like. And this is what you're going to get. And so I had a conversation with my cousin Carlos. Shout out Carlos. He watches the podcast.
Shout out my boy Carlos.
And Carlos was telling me he hadn't felt, and Carlos is older than me, right? I'm 42. He must be 48, 49. He's in his 50s, but shh.
Carry the 6.
So, right, 50. He's 40, 48, 49. Carry the 10. We had a whole conversation simply about how much this brought to him, that feeling of wonder that had been missing from even the last 3 movies. Although I would dare to argue that episode 7 is probably the most exciting Star Wars out of all of the 9 Star Wars. Exciting. Out of all of the 11, if you count Rogue One and Solo, is the most exciting. There's a sense of excitement. But what it doesn't have is a sense of wonder. Like, it doesn't have that magic that grasps your imagination as a child to
This,
want to live in
this
that
definitely
universe.
brought all of that to the forefront.
For sure. And it
no
made
lie,
you feel like somebody, and he said something to me that makes perfect sense. It's like somebody's playing with their toys and you're watching that imagination come through. And that literally is what this felt like. Like somebody had all of the Star Wars figures, and if you could see the movie in their head of what was happening when he was playing that, that's exactly what this looked like.
Yo.
Exactly. But even beyond that, and the most important and fantastic part of this, that even beyond that is how fucking good this was. How good this was.
I was afraid that the Dark Troopers were gonna look like shit because, you know, when they first got introduced, all of that was CGI. Full, you know what I'm saying? It was still all full CGI, but there was a person there, and it was interaction. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I hate on CGI, is that I hate when you guys do something very heavy CGI and then shit on it. You know what I mean? Like, half-ass it. Very well done, yo. That's what's up. I was like, yo, that's very well. Very nice.
That was fire. And so you have all of that sense of wonder. The number two thing because I'm speaking very generally about the episode before we get to the specifics. Marvel. Take a note, Marvel. Take a note, Marvel. When you want to have a group of females kick ass.
Yeah, bro. Facts.
And not make it pandering.
Pander, yeah. A pander selfie shot, yeah.
This is what the fuck it looks like.
Quick little caveat to your little thing. Also, it's the equivalent. What Marvel did was the equivalent of somebody going to a protest, taking the selfie, hopping into Uber, and getting the fuck out.
Right.
I was
and
there.
Yeah. And this is the motherfucker that got arrested in the protest.
Yeah. We was there. We was with the shits, bro. And you know why? Because it felt. I feel like one of the most important things about it. It has to have a unisex feeling to it. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Just because it's
right.
Like I feel like Marvel just did it. Marvel just did it literally just for the look, bro. They whipped ass. They got a whole scene. They had a whole sequence. Bro, finish.
They took over the ship by them. The four of them took over the whole ship. The four of them took over the whole ship, the entire ship. And
they finally gave us a gun jamming, a big rifle jamming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Doesn't fail.
So, and look, when you have, and this is the other thing that makes this, you're right, because the unfortunate weight that carries a scene like that we talked about that Marvel scene, is the unfortunate weight is you can't make it look, these are girls doing badass shit. What you have to, like you saying, what you have to make it is, this is just badass.
This is just badass. Exactly.
And be it that is women or men, doesn't really have the importance, the focus of it. But it does have the importance. It just doesn't have the focus of it. Mm-hmm. Right. So now you have, number one, and realistically speaking, outside of the actors and the stunt coordinators, now you have a real martial artist, a real MMA fighter, and a real wrestler. And an actress, all right? So you have three motherfuckers in that group that if the two of us try to fight them together. Now, we have a very close friend, it's Hanz's cousin, Dowdy, who said that he will fight Ronda Rousey one-on-one. Yeah, and I always said, you're a fucking retard, and pardon the word, but
I do not want nobody trained to punch my face ever.
Bro, any of these four girls, I'm not saying just the three trained ones, any of these four girls, we kick both our asses if we mad at them and trying to fight them together. Like we both going at it, they'd be like, hold my beer, let me just kick this two motherfuckers.
I just hope it's on camera, because I want to see my little skinny ass get tossed, bro, through a chair or something.
But
I want to see my legs go like this.
but the level at which these ladies performed in these scenes is legitimately what you want to see when you want to see four ass kickers kicking ass.
And like, look, and as I'm watching it with Yvette, I'm like, ooh, nobody nicer than Fennec with the shot. Ooh, pop, 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 pop. And then when Cara Dune comes through, I'm like, yo, babe, remember, she a killer. She a certified G. You know, like, it's not pandering. This is what they do. Like, yeah, she shoots. And you know what I'm saying?
And then, just in case you weren't clear, when Mando and Boba Fett get into that bar looking for Bo-Katan, her psychic, who is again real life wrestler,
Sasha Banks, shout out.
She really showed you, no lie, how the fuck you fight like a Mandalorian. There was a move that she did where she grabbed him by the helmet, jumped on the wall, and used her rockets to fuck him up. I was like, oh, son, I think you in over your head a little bit here, Bubba. I know you the original, you the OG Mandalorian as far as we're concerned in real time, but this Mandalorian is going to kick your ass because they grew up in it.
She got the upgrade. This is the 2.0, bro.
Yeah, like you can't fuck with this. And she's older than him. I mean, she should be older than him, or I don't know, maybe not. But what a beauty of a fucking episode. What a beauty. It is the best. Those 40 minutes of Mandalorian is top 3 best Star Wars movies.
Bro,
forget TV.
Yo, for real.
From the music, bro, the music when the troopers were getting loose, when they're fighting, the music when the biggest spoiler of them all, when Luke Skywalker shows up.
You see the X-Wing. I'm like,
bro,
and then the little, one ship is here. Oh, we're saved.
Right.
Little did you know.
Like, you don't know what you're saying, but well, we know. Now, I've been saying since last season, since they said you got to find a Jedi to give this kid to. I said this when the last season ended. It's Luke, right? Because there are no other real Jedis. I mean, there's Leia.
Exactly. There's the dibbling dabbling, but there's nobody really of the cloth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so when they brought in Ahsoka Tano, when they brought in that news that Ahsoka Tano was coming in, I was like, oh, okay. Well,
I knew she wasn't the Jedi, though. I knew it because she's not the Jedi.
Right, but I didn't think of it that way. I just thought like, oh, maybe she's gonna soften up and they're gonna give her something to bring her closer to the Force, and maybe that's the way the story can go because I hadn't seen the story. So Dave Filoni is in there. So Dave Filoni says she softened up. Guess what? She softened up because that's his character. So he would have written her in the way that it works for him. But I was always holding out for Luke Skywalker. Now, I told Hansel before we started shooting that I saw the only spoiler I saw from this week's episode was an image of young Mark Hamill. And I was like, but this is how much I expected that and how good that was. I was not angry. And Hansel that knows me knows, I fucking hate spoilers. Yep. I got into a fist fight one for a spoiler from a movie. A fist fight, dude. Because of a spoiler from a movie. I hate them. But I seriously, honestly thought this is the best. This is the best that you could give me. So I'm not even mad that I saw it. I wasn't bothered. I just felt like that's what I wanted.
What I wanted was that. On the security cam, the saber was one color, and then when they finally put it in color, it was green. Like that was green, so
green. And then you're seeing all of the little clues, And look, it's not fair for me to say because I already have seen the spoiler, but now I'm looking if they're giving you clues because I know what the spoiler is. So they do the green lightsaber, and I'm like, all right, but they don't show you the top of the lightsaber because that's a dead giveaway, right? Because it has that little cup like the Obi-Wan lightsaber. And so like they're not showing you that legit, but
And
they
they're
just
not
show you the
showing you the
green light.
hand neither. You
Right.
know.
No, right. But then what happens is there's a point where he's doing something and he has the naked hand and then the black glove. And I
Yup.
was
And
like,
that's how you know it's the
yeah,
boy. It's the boy. It's
it's
the boy
the
with the
boy.
papa.
So, to get into the episode more proper, this episode had everything you needed. It starts with them getting the doctor back, the doctor from the first season that was doing the cloning. And you have a trooper exposition saying all kinds of things like, oh, this is a top cloner, and oh, I saw Alderaan being blown up, and I saw your tattoo, and oh, I
But
was
yo,
in the
did you
Death
think
Star.
that person was really an operative, or he was just trying to save himself? Like, no, I'm not really with this guy.
Yo, that motherfucker was like, y'all got guns and I don't. So, what's up? Like, what do I sign? Who I gotta give up? I give him all up. I
You
think
see this patch? It's an iron on. It's not even signed. Like, it's not real.
this is plastic.
I got this today. I don't know him.
But what I think was interesting was the way that they portrayed the second guy was as a guy that
He was a zealot. He was still
a fanatic, like a fanatic of what the Empire was, and obviously he was an Empire officer. He was in a Death Star, obviously the
Oh,
first one,
so he says.
or so he says, because she was like, which one, which one of the two that we blew up? Which one was you in?
For real.
Because but to give Kevin Smith some pointers, because Clerks, which is Kevin Smith's first movie, there's a scene in Clerks where they're arguing about how many people died in the Death Star that were just doing plumbing, And he's just like,
Word.
there's that ship was under construct, like, and they talk about the second Death Star. It's like, the first Death Star is an operational base, but the second one is under construction. There's a guy doing plumbing in there. That's just like an outside contractor from the Empire that just got blown up because the rebels just fucking blew the shit up. And
Or even worse, somebody who was freaking probably taken from a planet, you know what I mean, and forced to do labor, you know what I'm saying?
or that and
Damn,
not
that's a
only
horrible
was
perspective. Why you do that to me?
I'm sorry, man. This movie's
R.I.P.
like,
R.I.P. to all the essential workers on the Death Star,
yeah,
bro.
but you never seen Clerks, bro?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, this movie's from like 1993, bro. Come on. Go back, watch it. It's great. It's still great. But the idea that this guy says blowing up Alderaan was a small price to pay to get rid of all of you terrorists is an idea that is a legitimate perspective for somebody that's on the other side.
Yeah, hell yeah,
You
of course.
understand?
Yes.
Like
Very much so. Very
for
much
this
so.
man who believes that the Empire is order,
Is the truth.
that is the truth, that the Empire brings
The light in the
balance,
dark, yup.
to see a group of people that are essentially, look, the only reason why the rebellion is a rebellion and not a terrorist group is because they win. Because you got to think about it. History is written by those that win the
Yeah, of
battles,
course.
right?
Yes, sir. Yup.
So had the Empire blown them up, like we talked about last week, that they would have been like, yo, bring all the ships in Return of the Jedi, and they would have showed up with their 20 ships, and the Empire's there with 400 ships, like,
They would have been written
you
in
here?
as extremists.
Yeah.
Yup.
right, absolutely. And it
Marxist.
wouldn't have been wrong. I also said this, and it's not because I'm blowing my own dick. It's because it's really a point of perspective that I agree with, that I think is fun that they brought it out, right? I also said this when I saw all of the Star Wars in a row, that when you watch all of the movies today in today's environment with today's government, and you watch them all in a row, when you're watching the birth of the Empire through the movies that were the original, to Rogue One, through the end, Episode 9, what you get is nothing feels more like terrorism than Rogue One and Episode 4, because you don't really have. I mean, there is that abuse of power, which makes it right that the Death Star blows up an entire planet full of people just because. That's fucking evil beyond evil. So that's Hitler, you know? That's Hitler level evil. Like, oh, you don't want to talk?
Yeah,
Blow the planet. No,
genocide,
no, no.
basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
like, no. I tell you, it's over here. All right, great. But we still got to test out this gun, so blow it up. And blowing up an entire planet full of people, obviously, is Hitler level shit. But the tactics of the rebellion is guerrilla tactics because they're small, and that's how you do that. You bite a little bit, you nip a little bit until you can break it down. Doesn't have that weight in a movie like Rogue One. That's why Rogue One feels mostly like a terrorist movie, because they're really like collecting people. Like, yo, you got a bad pass, but all that means is that you're efficient, and I need you to do this. I need you to get me this information and go attack and kill all of these people just to get this information. That feels legitimately like levels of terrorism. And then you see episode 4 and it's just like, oh no, they're evil. Oh, okay, no, yeah, blow them up. Yeah, we're good.
My bad.
All of those days. Yeah.
My
All
bad.
of those days were worth it.
I'm gonna take back that review I put on you up on you. My bad. I didn't know that.
Well, I got lost in a lot of talking shit there, but I'm gonna get back. I promise. So the idea that this guy is sitting there talking about, bro, you a bunch of terrorists, and mentioning in the same collection of words, mentioning how we blew up your planet because y'all a bunch of terrorists, just gives you an idea of how that corruption can destroy your perception to a level where it's like.
And it's also how yes and no and right and wrong are all about perspective.
Perspective, correct. I did get a little bothered at how much he was like, jab, just asking to get killed.
Yep.
Like he was asking for it. Like, go on, shoot me. You gotta shoot me. You better shoot me in the face. Cause guess what? Your mama's a hoe, and your daddy's a hoe too.
And
You
your
still not
grandma.
gonna punch me? Yeah. Right. So, the episode starts there. They get the guy. They go pick up Bo-Katan. They have Boba Fett and Mando walking into the bar. One of the coolest fucking shots ever. Because it's two Mandalorian helmets that don't look the same. They're not part of a group.
Yeah.
And they are the Mandalorians that we all know forever to just be a helmet. You know, like this season, they both took their helmets off and blah, 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 blah.
It reminded me of that joke. 2 Mandalorians walk into a bar.
We talk about that fight scene between Boba Fett and
Sasha Banks. We don't know her Mandalorian name.
I don't remember her Mandalorian name, but Sasha Banks.
Yo,
which was
that
fantastic.
You know, it freaked me out when I found out when I noticed that was hair coming across her forehead, a braid. She had 2 braids going across her.
Yeah. You didn't notice that before? Because Bo-Katan has the controls like Jango Fett used to have, right? Like it's just like a band that connects to the helmet. Mm-hmm. But she just has hair. Like fuck it, I'm badass like this.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And what they're there to do is regroup so that they can go. Yeah, let's go. We need a team, so let's build this team. So
I
that
scratched
we can
your
do
back. Remember, it wasn't that long ago.
But I loved that Bo-Katan was like, look, I'm not a bounty hunter. So like, you know, she has the superiority complex too. Like, look, y'all
I go good because nobody getting paid.
Yeah. That y'all walking around like y'all Mandalorian, but we true Mandalorians, you know, like there's a lot of that in this. Like there's a lot of like, you're not a real Mandalorian because you took your helmet off. It's like, that's not what being a Mandalorian is about. How about getting Mandalore back? That's what being a Mandalorian.
Yep.
So, you know, like, they
using all that energy to fight each other. Where was that energy when the Empire was at our doorsteps?
Yeah, man. Where were we at as a group? Like, if we're fighting each other like this, and it's important that she said that because in the cartoon, that's precisely what happened.
Yeah, yep.
They were fighting each other, and the Empire was able to come in and be like, "I got this. I'm taking y'all." So they group, they make a plan, and the plan is simple. We're gonna go into this spaceship, so you can get your baby, but I need to get the lightsaber, the dark saber. I need it, and for that
I
reason
need
alone,
you, and I need to be the one to handle Moff. The Moff.
yes. But she never explained it. She just said
She just
he's
assumed.
mine,
Yeah,
right?
that's what you get
He's
for
mine.
assuming.
And so, Mando goes into the whole like I work alone, and he's like, yeah, fuck off. And can I ask something? They do this great plan where they take the shuttle, they fly it in like it's they're in danger because Boba Fett is shooting at them, and great fucking space battle scene, by the way, with the TIE fighters,
he's
and
so
then
nice,
him following them.
He's so nice. He's so nice. He's so
Yeah,
nice.
man. And then Boba Fett fucking leaves. But why couldn't Boba Fett come back and give him a hand? I just don't understand. Boba Fett, it's the second time Boba Fett is like, look, I'm a cab driver. I pick you up, I
Because
drop
I
you
think
off.
that's what he did. Well, you seen the movie Taxi, right?
I also say, the other thing is possibly, there's no money in it for him. So why would he go the extra mile?
No, I just feel like everybody has a role. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay out here, because if everybody's inside and shit goes south inside, who gets us outside? You know what I'm saying?
That's true, and designated driver basically. Like everybody gonna get drunk on shooting. You're
He's
gonna
baby
be
driver.
designated driver.
He's baby
Yeah.
driver. Except he's a viejo, so
So
he's viejo driver.
so Moff Gideon, by the way, can we give
I
props
hate that she
not
called him
only
the
to
Moth.
one- Was that?
I hate that she called him the Moth.
Yeah.
Where's the Moth?
Yeah.
I said, nah, don't do that.
No, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not okay.
That's not it.
But
And it doesn't roll off like that. She's not the Hoss. He's not the Hoss.
can we talk about how fantastic? I know we've touched on this, how fantastic he is as a bad guy, but how magical was he as a bad guy on this episode?
And how diabolical, too, without being too, you know what I mean, over the
Yo,
top
but-
crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Here, bro. The moment he sees the ship walk in and they start shooting, he didn't even breathe. He was like,
No, he's like-
release the dark trooper. Yeah, you bad? All right, release the dark troopers. We good.
Mm-hmm.
We going. You coming? We going. And he didn't even think on it, bro. He was just like, do it. So they go, they're fighting. The way that they split, the way that they explain it is, when you go pick up Baby Yoda, you make sure that those dark troopers can't fuck with us. And Mando gets his fucking ass kicked by one of them, but finds out that the Beskar.
ass kicked?
That's not the word.
That's not the word, bro. He got manhandled. That's what we call a whooping. He got whooped on. You heard? He got whooped. He got whooped,
He got
bro.
fucked up, bro. He
got
got
fucked up, bro.
I-
That was all Beskar and God. That's it.
he ain't had nothing to do with that.
He needed every single piece of tool he had in his arsenal for that, bro. Everything. He needed everything, bro. And no lie, when the thing was doing this is how much of a sick person I am. When it was doing this, the only thing in my mind is, where's that spear? Because right there, yeah, that's me. That's how I think, you know. I'm right away.
But remember that's not in his preview
Yeah,
to what's
yeah, exactly. That's new to him, that thing. You know what I mean? But I'm just
Right,
a
so
sick
like-
motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not in his
Repertoire.
right. He has to pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to be like, let me get this going. Whatever. Anyways, he gets into the cell. He takes care of but here's the other thing. The moment he pulls the lever and they all go out the window,
Everybody was so excited. I was watching with my girl. She's like, "Yay, Mando!" Blah blah blah, and I'm like, You forgot they fly in my brains. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tell her
But
nothing because I'm just like,
I
they
said that out
fly.
loud to Stephanie because I'm like, you smart. You saw the last episode. They flew
Mm-hmm.
in and took that baby. Do
Yep.
you think space doesn't
Yeah.
work? Like they, like
I
in
mean, they don't
space
need
they can't fly,
oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude told you, they take a lot of power to power up. You know what I mean? And they were
right?
powered up.
Yo, for real. And so he he gets in there. He opens the door. Here's Moff Gideon with the fucking dark saber on top of the kid. Now, here's the few things that made me love Moff Gideon as a bad guy, and I'm gonna put them in the order that they hit me. Number one, Giancarlo Esposito. What a fucking performance! Because you can tell that he's calculating the entire time.
Every
He's
word,
calculating.
yup, you know what I mean? Nothing. He's
If
leading the conversation on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
yes, he's saying incredibly important things like, "This is what she wants, because this is what gives you power to rule Mandalore." And then he
And
said,
he's
"He's
like,
so
we got the I eat
yeah,
ass face probably like, ¿de qué tú me estás hablando? I don't, what que Mandalore ni Mandalore, muchacho. I'm here for the kid.
like right." And he's taking all of this in, and he's
Mm-hmm.
processing, and he's spewing out more, and it's happening, and you can see. And Giancarlo Esposito fucking killed it, killed it, killed
Because
it.
not for nothing, he had checkmate. Had not Luke showed up, you know what I'm saying? That was checkmate. Like, yeah, I got y'all not on cue anymore. You know what I mean? And if these come in, we need y'all to be. The only way they would survive that is, Luke, or if they at 100% communication wise, and they not. They're already infighting. You know what I'm saying? So in his
And
mind, it's
even
like, bam.
and by the way, when you're saying surviving that, you don't mean they're gonna be saved. What you
Yeah,
mean is
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're gonna
yeah,
they're gonna live one more day
yeah.
before they
Mm-hmm.
get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way. There's no way. And so he tells him that, the sword is what she wants because it gives you power. But he doesn't say the whole story. He's just so smart. He's
He's
looking
just
at him
planting
being like,
seeds of doubt. Planting seeds of doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all.
and I don't, but even more important than that, he's calculating. He's like, this gives you Mandalorian power. He's like, I don't care about the power. Great. Because that means if you take this from me, she gets fucked by you. Also, well, I already got what I want from this kid, which is the blood. I don't care about that either. Oh, so you're not gonna follow me if I escape. He's just checking. He's just checking. Choop, choop, choop. And he's getting all of his information by spewing things. You know what I'm saying? Like he's giving all these tests. It's so fucking smart. It's so tactically perfect from him. And the idea that nothing was wasted for him. The time that he spent fighting the Mandalorian wasn't wasted because he wanted those Dark Troopers
It
to
was a
come
very
back.
Thrawn type move, yo. I feel like they're warming us up for the more cerebral, you know what I mean? Cerebral, bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so used to bad
Yeah.
guys, like I said before, just being powerful. Not how about that mind. You know what I mean? It was all calculated. It was all.
And remember
And
that
now, do you
even
think
even
he
and you're right.
did you think he knew that lightsaber wasn't gonna hold? That the Beskar would hold up? You think he knew that? Because he attacked him like he was gonna end him. Like, yeah, 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 yeah.
I
That he,
think I think he probably had an idea, but he wanted to test it. I think he had an idea, but he was just more like, but how true is this? How pure is the stuff that he has on me? I don't know. So here we go. I'm gonna fucking chop his fucking head off. And um the fight was phenomenal. The fight between the two of them was super great. And once again, you said it, I said it. When I was editing the last episode, which aired on Friday, because it took me for fucking ever between work and that, so I apologize for that. But what happens in with this is that you see the Viper versus the Mountain.
Yeah.
I've forgotten that motherfucker was in Game of Thrones
With the
wielding
spear.
fucking spears. And I understand that was his stunt double, but he actually wielded a spear in that. And I was like, oh yeah, no, he good.
He
Because
got this.
back in the Dark Ages, he fought with the Mountain, and now that he's a Mandalorian,
In the future. In a galaxy far, 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 far away.
right? He now he good, but fantastic, great. The fight really, it was more action than anything else. Obviously, it had less. I could argue it had weight, more or less weight, but for me, it had no real weight other than, well, timing and the importance of the sword itself, right? That Mando is not aware of. And so to pay all of that off, to make it more fantastic still, to give Giancarlo Esposito even more fucking praise for his acting. The moment he stays alive and he goes, oh, you're going to leave me alive? Good, because I want to see this shit. Let me
Yup.
see how this is going to play out.
Where's the popcorn?
Oh, and then for every word he said when Mando comes in with him to throw him out in to be like, yo, I got him.
Everything replays in his head. This is what she wants. This is. I'm getting. He's like, what's happening right now?
Yo, and Mando for Mando to be like, I don't care about this shit, and he's like, Also,
You can't do that.
everything, bro. Like I forfeit.
Oh, no.
No. You can't do that. You can't do that. You see what happened was when you give it to her, it's not the sword itself. It's just whatever.
It's the
The
story.
story. It's the hold on. Extra salt, please. What y'all gonna do now? Just- and that's the moment where, again, by story. But I'll tell you this: this episode was full, like every other episode of the show, which each one should be 2 hours, in my opinion, or at least an hour and a half, so that you
Yeah,
have
word.
air to air to tell that story. There's a lot of convenience in this episode, but
Of course,
this one,
but still.
this one felt the least forced out of all of them. Like the moment she says, he's right, I can't just do that, I can't just take that. It's the moment where it's like, wah, what's happening? Dark troopers are back. And now you're seeing him being even more of a mustache twisting, but in a very refined.
He was
But
doing one of those.
But he's so refined because he's not like, he's just more like, oh, bitch, you don't know, bitch. Let me tell you, he's like that.
chuckle.
He's like that guy from your neighborhood that you always want to punch in the mouth because you hate him so much, but you can't because he's always right. Be like,
Dude,
nah,
across the
bitch.
street.
What's gonna happen now is, all your motherfuckers getting fucked up because no, hold on. Because the popo just showed up. What y'all gonna do?
I called them. You guessed it. Nobody was guessing it.
So, what a what a fantastic, he was the highlight of this episode for me, really, Giancarlo. I mean, not the highlight of the episode as far as what happens, but his
His
performance
Yep.
was so fucking good that he made me happy. He was such a great bad guy. Such a great, and we talked about this before too, where we talked about him, that he's a little bit, he's more beyond Darth Vader. He's a better bad guy than Darth Vader.
Yep.
Because he's not all about choking you with the force. He's more about like, let me, Oh, you want this? Come take it. Oh, you took it? Oh, you don't know what that means. Come on, let me. No, no, no. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, take me.
Very, very methodical.
Handcuffs? You got it. Let's go. Oh, by the way, hi. Here with the handcuffs.
It's me. Hey, it's me. Just in case you forgot, they fly.
They come back. You get the Luke reveal, which was
Fantastic.
so good, and the music in this episode all around, from the moment from the moment that they start the attack, this has the best music of all of the episodes. It's very strong. It's very the energy on the music itself is incredible, but more than anything else, it's so it does what music does best in
Takes you on a
movies
ride.
like this. Yeah, like it gives it a pulse that is driving you,
Yup.
right?
You feel
And
you feel there.
yeah, and it's really strong. Like it's strong music. It's not very low. It's not on the back end. Like it's driving the scenes. Like it's very strong. And boy, oh boy, also, I applaud the music on this episode because it was fucking gold. Luke shows up, starts whooping ass, left, right, center, in the back, turns around.
Yup.
This made me feel like that scene on Rogue One when Darth Vader showed up and there's a hallway full of motherfuckers and the lights go out
And
that red lightsaber turns on.
And the difference between Luke and Ahsoka's battle is that Ahsoka seems more angry. Luke is more like just, like it's like poetry. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like he's dancing almost.
Yes, man.
Whap, 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 chop.
Yup.
You know? But in that sense also, it kind of feels like that Darth Vader scene too. Like he had some...
He had
sense of
authority to it.
remnant.
Yeah, like just like, you know what I mean? Like this is a Jedi. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you're a
yeah.
Jedi? Yes. Oh shit.
And so, Luke comes in, then you get all of your feels because,
Which to me were no feels. Why? Because if they would have held the face, this would have got me. If it would have held the face, it would have got me. They didn't hold the face. I already knew he was gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was gonna.
Yeah.
They were gonna see each other before, like actually see each other before he left. I knew that was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when. So I feel like
Yeah.
it was good. It wasn't like, it's not like there wasn't like like no emotion to it. But to me, I was like, that's what's up. Yeah, all right, peace.
I didn't, it didn't drive me to tears, but it made me
That's what I'm
sad.
saying. It didn't, yeah, come on. I was more happy. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. Because I want him to be trained. I don't want another Vader. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm
but
like,
I had a hanging feeling of like, I don't think Mando wants him to go really, but he is.
bro, that's
he's
a
doing-
lot. Yeah, it's a lot to
One
handle.
question, one question for you. How do you feel about Luke's CGI?
It was horrible, but it was cool.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. It looked like it wasn't feathered or like it would or over smeared or over smooth. Like it just looked like. You understand what I'm saying? Like that. Like I don't know how to explain it, yo. It just like it looked like
rubbery.
I did it on my
I like-
phone. Looked like I did it on my phone, and I sent you like, ha ha ha, look at me. I'm young school. Like you know what I'm saying? You know how they doing those apps now that put your face on whatever. That's what it felt like.
My friend Armando said that he looked fantastic on his tablet, but that he wasn't watching it on his big TV. That he wonders if that's going to make a big difference when you
Yes.
watch it in a small screen versus a big one.
I saw it twice, both versions. Very true. That is a very, very, very good observation. It looked way worse on the big TV. Now that I'm thinking
On
about
the
it.
big screen.
Yeah, because I was
Okay.
just watching it now
Yeah,
on my
I've
tablet.
only seen it.
You know what I'm saying?
I-
So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times, but I've seen it all times on my big TV. So like on my TV rather than my small screen. So I don't. For me, it was bad all
Yeah,
around.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then to end the episode, because it ends with him going away, the elevator closes, the music comes up, it ends like a movie. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. It was poetry. It was glutinous. It was just fucking. It was glorious. Is the
And it
word.
was great, but I'm happy that wasn't the actual ending though,
Yo, then they give you that post credit scenes for the first
which
time.
I needed. I needed to cap it all off. It was like having a good meal and then not having that little bit of coffee. I said, you know what I mean? Just that little bit of coffee, just that little thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all I needed was just that.
For the complete satisfaction, here comes Jabba's palace. The guy that used to run the door is now sitting in Jabba's spot, fat as fuck. I don't know why he's fat, but I guess it was just more of a joke
Yeah,
for the
it's just like
character.
whoever sits on the throne. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And here they come. Well, first, here she come, shooting everybody
Shout
down.
out Fennec.
She just shot everybody dead by herself, by themselves. Just pew, pew,
But
pew,
that's what
pew,
she
pew, pew.
does, bro. That's what she does. There's not too many people deadly like her with the shot, yo. That's what she does, bro.
Bad the fuck ass. So at the very end, Boba comes down,
Gang.
sees his boy. He says, "Oh, Boba, but I thought you were dead. I mean, I heard rumors, and but I mean,
Ah, the
how you been, bro?"
buddy. He said, buddy. I don't see you long time. Take what you
And
want.
Boba
It's
just
on
said,
me. It's on me. Under $5. Come on, you get it.
"Boba said, I got one thing for you." Shoots him,
I do
and then
not
they
like those noise. And this is the only time I've heard it. Maybe it was the director that allowed them to make those horrible noises that they're making before they die or while they're dying. The guy in the cockpit did it. He did a weird ass noise, and then the Hut dude did it also too. Like I don't know. It was just weird. I don't know. Maybe it was the first time I
was it the
noticed it.
Hyman? Was it the Hyman scream? The ah, because I
No,
don't
no, no,
remember now.
no. Watch it over. Just those two scenes, yo. When they get shot, they do like a weird ass scream. Like I don't know.
Okay. I wasn't, I was so enthralled by the story that I wasn't really listening for that. But I'll hear it next time that I watch it. But then they end on that 1970s poster of like a badass comic book from the 70s,
Yup.
which is Boba Fett sitting down on a big ass throne. My new wife with her rifle and a bottle of whiskey, like, "Psst, bitch, you ain't
Yup.
do shit.
Life is
I'm
great.
the one that I'm the one that cleaned this up, bitch. Anyways, you
Life is
cute, so
great.
you can sit there for now." And obviously, it made me think because the first time that I saw it, I was like, "What is this shit? Why is she serving him?" Then the second time that I saw it, I was like, "Well, obviously she's working for him in some degree," but it kept bothering me. And then at the last time that I saw it before we came on, I was like, "Well, she literally owes him her life.
Yeah.
She absolutely would have been dead
And
if it
she was
didn't
a
put
soldier. She was a soldier who then became an assassin. Yeah, she really had. She's a rogue. She's a Ronin. You know what I'm saying? Now she has a master. Not meaning
that's
like
yeah
just in the sensei type. You
in
know
the
what I mean?
sense of
Like
yeah
of a warrior
Aikido.
needing some. You know
Yeah,
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
Aikido sense, like all right, a samurai means that a person that serves. So they need a master to serve. So in that sense, um, you know, it all ends with the book of coming. The book of Boba Fett coming December
Fire,
2021.
fire.
So here's where Hansi and I have had a bit of a conversation, but we didn't go too deep because I wanted to save it for this. My impression off the bat was next season is about Boba Fett. Fantastic. Let's make it about Boba Fett. He is a Mandalorian in quotations, and even though he's never said that he is one, according to him, and it's true, the bounty hunter Boba Fett is not the Mandalorian Boba Fett. It's just
This
the
is
bounty
true.
hunter Boba Fett.
Yup.
And he he is definitely gonna have his story told. Now, is that the next season of the show, or is that a different show? The
I believe.
conversation I had with Hansi was Disney likes money way too much. Why wouldn't they make it a different show? It makes more sense for the brand itself that they carry to make it, instead of one series about Mandalorians, and then you can jump, like we said, between him and Mando and him and Bo-Katan, whatever you need, versus versus Bo-Katan has a show, Mando has a show, Boba Fett has a show. The guy that's missing from the team that was in the earlier episode of the season,
Yeah. He has a
he has a
show.
show too, right? Like Disney works in that aspect. But what are your thoughts on all that?
I would love to see different stories about different Mandalorians under the Mandalorian show. And it's a great way to glue a bunch of people together and glue little things and little events. You know, have the Mandalorian do one thing, one off. If you're trying to set up for another movie, you know what I mean, or set it up. It's very little because, like I told you, they're like roaches. They're in all corners of the galaxy, you know, and they hide. So there's a reason why you probably never seen a Mandalorian in that part. They probably didn't want you to see him. Makes sense to
Right?
me.
Yeah. Um.
Because you get to and also even if they wanted to go down the Bo-Katan spin-off, Boba Fett definitive spin-off, blah blah blah, they can test it with just doing 6 episode seasons about these characters, and then from there spin it off. You know what I mean? But I don't really necessarily feel like each one of those characters deserves so much. You know what I
Deserves.
mean? I don't feel like Boba Fett needs a whole entire show. To be completely honest, I feel like he's good with a season. Give him a story. Give him some cameos here now and
I
then.
mean,
You know what I mean?
but also to be fair, we don't know that the book of Boba Fett is not a movie for Disney Plus.
This is
We don't
also
know what
true.
it is. We don't know what it is. We don't
I
know
hope not.
which way it's gonna go.
I don't
But
want him to get a movie. He deserves 6 parts, bro. He deserves 6 episodes.
yeah, something with meat. Him coming into power, becoming the gangster that Jabba the Hutt was because he's ruthless. Uh, I don't know that that makes sense for the character because I feel like he's greedy, but I think he's greedy by actions, right? Like he's a very aggressive guy, so I don't know
Yeah,
how
yo.
sitting on a chair helps him out. It kind of brings you into that
But you
Godfather
can,
movie thing.
what you can do is literally do, let's say it's 6 episodes, right? You can do 3 episodes of right to the point where he got there, because we don't know what the fuck he was doing before we got showed up to the Mandalorian. You know what I mean? So
That's
just
true.
boop boop boop, quick up, and then boop 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 boop, 1, 2, 3 for a setup at the end. Bam, good enough,
Yeah,
Bubba.
I mean
You know what
that's
I mean?
true. That's true. In closing for this, what a fucking what a magical season, and I
What a great
know,
ride! What a great ride!
yeah, my boy Lewis, we were talking at through Instagram. My boy Lewis from England, and he kept saying, "Bro, this season feels like a lot of splatter things that don't hold together." And I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he was saying. Like there's a lot of little episodes and little things, and they don't mean anything. They just like things thrown around. And I said, well, I feel like all of these things are paying off somehow. It paid off when he took his helmet off. He paid off when when his conversation with Bill Burr really meant a lot more because all this little splatter of things really collected into a sense of feeling. But what he said when he saw this episode was, this episode is exactly what the entire season was missing. Something to glue it and make it one thing. And everything that's happened from the first episode of this season where Boba Fett showed up in the background to him getting that suit. And yes, I did say, and I retain it, for the point of the episode, it was a lot of time wasted on just getting a uniform. On a bigger story that didn't mean shit, you know? Because he didn't move the story forward. It was just like, well, he got Boba Fett's suit. Good for him. What about the rest of this? This episode really, in more ways than one, really takes everything, even from the first season, and really fucking smashes it into a nice pastel en hoja. You know, pastel en hoja has plantains and guineito and auyama and all this shit. This
But it's
motherfucker
all
said,
one flavor. Yup.
yo, put it here, put some seasoning on it, put the meat in the middle, eat it. And
Oh, y'all want some right now?
sorry, it's Christmas time, so I had to say it. Using my high. But I think, quite honestly, this episode alone is the best Mandalorian episode I've seen. But it's also some of the best Star Wars I've seen in a long time. And excluding the cartoons, because the cartoons have that incredibly long narrative that you can really build on, so that when you have something like that Ahsoka movie that ended season 7 or whatever it was,
Yep.
it has a lot of build up to make it work that way. This as a live action kind of sort of self-contained story, great, fantastic, lovely. I loved it. I loved every second of it. And
I enjoyed it.
In the words of Hansel, this is how Game of Thrones should have ended.
Yep.
Not with bitches on a dragon and she just goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna kill everybody.
And now with it was yeah. I don't even want to talk about that.
PTSD, bro.
Yeah. Take me to a dark place. It takes me to a dark, especially after I have such a magical Friday. I'm good on that. I want to talk about her or her dragons.
Oh, Khaleesi. Yeah, man. I think let's blitz him. So, we're gonna blitz, but really, this is gonna be more about the craziness that's happened in the last couple of weeks that we kind of touched on last episode. We had a lot to talk about last episode, so we kind of made it short. But let's talk about the immense craziness of Warner Brothers going off the rails and being like, everything coming to HBO Max. And I know that we talked about it to some degree last week, and we're also going to talk about all the Disney shows with more detail, right?
Yes, sir.
But you know, and I know that I
AMC
feel
is
like
trying to fight that. You know that, right? AMC is really trying to fight that.
Yeah, and also, you know, it was interesting also seeing a lot of the people that made those movies and made those shows came back and were like, "Yeah, fuck y'all didn't tell me this was gonna go to
Yeah,
HBO
he said
Max."
went to sleep working for a studio, woke up working for the worst streaming service. I forgot who said that.
Christopher Nolan said
Yep.
that. And so, I want to find the balance in this. It's not my job. They don't care about what I have to say, but as a consumer, I want to find a balance in this. Because you have a pandemic that has destroyed the movie industry to a degree where it can't recover.
It needs
quickly
to be renaissanced.
Right. And two, you
not
have
reinvented, renaissanced.
Renaissance. And two, you have people that worked under a sort of ideal of how their things were going to be presented and made, right? I'm going to imagine somebody, for example, like Benu, who did Dune, who's being another guy that's being very vocal about being disappointed about this. Also, not to mention, your payments are not the same.
See, that's where I see the line. Because I'm thinking
Right.
about this as me, the person that paid $800 million for Sixto's movie. Now, yes, we did not. In your payment was not no streaming because we didn't think this was going to be streaming. But I
And
got
that's
to
a
keep
different,
these lights on. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's a different
I paid
contract
for this
anyways.
movie. Yeah. I
Right.
paid for this movie. I will put this shit on YouTube if I want to, because I paid for this shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I'm
Right.
just like, I get it for the people that are like, yo, in my contract I don't have streaming. You know what I'm saying? But you also sold me your work. We're not partners. Now, if me and Sixto are partners, and I, with my 50%, think I can just release it without talking to you, there's a difference.
But
But
I
you
also
are
feel like,
you're my employee. I purchased
yeah, but
this.
I understand that, and you're right. But I also think that there's a lack of communication, and I think you hit on it, even though the other way around, in that all it takes is a conversation to
Yeah,
say,
this is
bro,
But when you
we're in
pay
the shit.
$800 million, yo, you have
But
people that it's like it's a horrible communication because yeah, we're not talking like the CEO has to call Nolan Ryan or whatever the hell, you know what I mean, Christopher Nolan, you know what I'm saying, like whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But his executive producer should have definitely told him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
his,
sure.
His, you know what I mean, like.
But I mean, but also, Hansel, the communication as a business. Now, look, if I make the business of making movies because I get a chunk of the pay of what the ticket sales is, because I feel like my movie is so good, it's gonna fucking roll, and that's a gamble I'm making myself. I'm saying fuck it. I'm gonna go all in and just say fuck it. If I'm gonna go, I'm going, but I'm also gonna get more from the box office than that you're gonna pay me right off the top.
Up front. Okay, so more back end than up front.
And
And
also,
too, a lot of these contracts were made in 2019 or something like that. So nobody even thought.
or 2017 maybe even.
Yeah,
right?
even 20. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You 100. Yeah. When you that's why I said there's two crucial sides, bro. There's the fact that language of streaming, and it's a whole different avenue, is not in
Right.
there. But it's like also it is the studio's property.
But also
Because they can
and
shelve
also-
it. They can also shelve it. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true too, and that's true too. But I think that the where the problem lies is in the communication. Is, for example, Warner Brothers can tell the view like, what if that movie, out of hitting at the I don't know, whatever the fucking reason is, nobody knows why things hit the way they hit. But let's say that movie Dune would have been the biggest hit of 2020, and I'm talking about the biggest. It breaks all the records. It fucking
Does a billion at the box office? Well, yeah.
They have to create new movie theaters just to show it because it was that good, whatever the fucking reason may be. Now that doesn't exist, and I understand that's not the problem with the studio because the studio didn't create COVID, but as a creative force, do you not even once say to yourself, fuck man, but I had expectations for this that can be met? And you as a studio have to tell that person, listen buddy, I know you had expectations, but they cannot be met because of this. And it's all it is. It's not asking
But that's
them
why
permission.
you only get what you negotiate. You don't get what you deserve in business.
You said it.
You know,
You said it.
now because I know there's people in the business that say, yo, this has to be presented this way, that way, that way. If these ducats don't hit, that's not going out. You know what I mean? Like, I need the poster to be here and these amount of, you know, I need this, you know what I'm saying? I need this amount for marketing. I need this, you know what I mean? There's little caveats that people put in there. You know what I'm saying? But nobody predicted COVID. Nobody. That's also the.
And
It's very. It's a. You know what the problem is? That there's not that much black and white. It's a tons of grays. It's all the grays. This
yeah,
is all the grays. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
that's the problem. That's really the problem. That we're dabbling in the gray, and when you dabble in the gray, it's different. It's different. You know what I mean? There really is no right or wrong. It's just a shit. You know?
Um, and yeah, you're right, and that's an important part because actually, at the end of the day, that is the truth of the matter. Things are not as calculated, so therefore, and the studio has a responsibility to keep itself alive. So, Christopher Nolan, yeah, everybody loves your movies or whatever, and whatever the case may be, but you don't get to make movies without the studios. So if you really think it's all about your dick and how big it is,
Put your money
and
where
that's
your
why
mouth
they
is.
right make your movie out of do a George
That's
Lucas.
that's what happens when you have your own IP and you own all of your IP. You can do what you want. That's what they're doing. That's what the studio is doing. I'm doing what I
Exactly.
want.
And if not, pull a George Lucas. I'm gonna finance this movie myself, and
Hmm.
this is the way it's gonna go. And then and
And we're
then
partnering in the distribution. You know what I'm saying?
right. And then if that's the way you're gonna pull it, put your own fucking money out of your own fucking pocket and say, I'm gonna make the next Batman movie. You can't. I
Hmm.
mean, Batman is a bad example because you can't. But I'm gonna make my
Yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
Tenant. Like
Hmm.
Tenant, I'm gonna make my
Tenet,
Tenant.
exactly.
Fuck you.
Tenet was perfectly possible. You know what I'm saying?
And then I'll put it in the movie theaters and let me see how quickly you sell your ass to fucking Netflix to be like, I need to make something back. Even if I break even, I need to make something back. And then you tell me if it's that easy. And
Yup.
so as much as I want to say that, and I would like to say that, yeah, the creators have the right because the creators are the ones making the art. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. It's a very
Is that
complex
there's a whole
situation.
ecosystem, bro.
Yes.
It's you know what? That's the problem. That it's not. It's a village, yo. It's a village, yo. It's a whole yo. There's people. It's everything because yo, if yeah, you have the idea, but if you don't got the proper fundings, you don't get the proper costumes, you don't get the best casting, you don't get the best cast, you know, it's a lot of stuff. Like it don't. It's yeah, you have the idea, but it's an idea until it becomes tangible. You know what I mean? And in the process of becoming tangible, you sell a lot of your baby. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
no longer your baby. It's everybody's baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
your wardrobe is going to be pissed if lighting is horrible. Why? Because nobody can see my shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's an ecosystem, bro. It's an ecosystem.
And so much like Tom Cruise screaming at everybody inside of the Mission Impossible 7 set, it's a bigger picture than Tom Cruise. It's
Yeah,
a bigger
big facts.
picture than the producers. It's a bigger picture than the actors. It's a bigger picture than the crew, because this entire picture moves on money, and the people with the money is the studio. And
Yup.
yeah, you could grab a camera by yourself and make something, but if you really believe, and if it's really about what you wanted to reach, right?
That's
You wanted to
exact.
reach
Yup.
you wanted to reach a billion eyes, well, you need to give it to a company that guarantees you a billion eyes. Because if you do it out of your garage with your own camera, even if you are Christopher Nolan, I'm
It's only
sure
going
that's
to
going to
go as
give you.
far as you can take it. You know what I'm saying? This is the truth, yo.
So,
And also,
yeah,
another little word that is in your contracts is in perpetuity. And you know, yo, like the studio and those people, like they make sure and they cover their ass 360, yo. You know what I mean? Like they're like nope. And then future technologies, those kind of little, you know what I'm saying, little caveats are there because those are hard to explain in court. But you'll be like, yeah, future technologies. I was talking about VR streaming. I was talking about, you know what I mean? So yo, maybe this is the start of a no streaming clause. or not
or
direct to streaming clause. You know what I'm saying? Or not you really,
or
you know
not
what I mean?
direct, right? Because I mean, ultimately,
Oh,
Warner
ultimately, it's
Brothers,
gonna always gonna get to
Warner
streaming.
Brothers
Yes.
that owns that HBO Max shit is gonna be like, oh, you don't want it to be streamed?
Well, we're gonna get somebody else to
Next,
do it.
yeah, next. Good night, Mr. Dolan
But
Nolan.
maybe the premiere on streaming, who knows? But yeah,
Who knows? Um,
it's a lesson for the kids. You don't get what
I
you
just
deserve. You get what you negotiate.
absolutely, and you know, I being very excited about getting Dune at home, or getting it on the screen, or getting it shot into my head with a fucking magic bullet that shows me the movie and then I die. I don't care how I watch it. I just want to see it. Um, it really is interesting to me that even though I wanted to see it in a gigantic screen with a bunch of people and have that experience, it doesn't
Same.
bother me that I'm gonna watch it at home. Like it does. I just want to see it. So
But that's
unlike
the thing
Tenant,
that because you have an affinity for that product, you know what I'm saying? But how
yeah,
about all the other stuff that you really don't want to, you know what I'm saying? That you're gonna miss
yeah,
because you're like, nah, on a big screen it would be better. You understand what I'm saying? That
yeah.
experience, yo.
Absolutely. And I don't know how many people feel like me exactly that. I mean, for example, Wonder Woman, Dune, uh, um, I don't know what else. What else is there that's coming from
See,
them?
Wonder Woman to me is the makes so much sense because it's Christmas Day. You know what I mean? I would love nothing more than to
Bro,
just
that's next
shower
week.
and lay. You know what I mean?
That's next week, bro. I'm getting a little bit of a,
Mhm.
because it's coming, bro. It's
Mhm.
coming, biggie, biggie. It's coming, biggie, biggie. It's
Finally.
coming, biggie, biggie. It's coming, biggie, biggie. Yeah, we've been waiting for like a like a decade for this fucking movie.
It
Let's
feels
go.
like it. Mhm.
So now, the announcements from Disney and all of the shit that they're gonna do. Uh, I asked you last week when we talked about it if you felt that it was too much, and you had a great point. It depends on how it shows. It depends
Mhm.
on how they put it out. While I was editing last week's episode, I found myself trying to find like a way to show how much shit they're putting out, and I was just like, "Fuck that!" I just put a picture. Um, it's a lot of shit, dude.
It is and it's not because it only is if it's in familiar territory. But if it's new, then no. You know what I mean? Like Mando was new with little hints of things we've seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it it's not because when it's new and it's in a different direction, it doesn't step on what was there. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
it's you know what I mean. It's not
right,
trying to reconstruct. It's trying to build upon.
right. Um, I am afraid, even though I hear your side, I am afraid that this is, for example, way too much Star Wars. But I thought about it this morning, especially after seeing such a good episode of Mando, which really does wonders for them in this aspect. Um, I was thinking that it truly does make sense, always, always, that what like we talked about Warner Brothers is always about money. Once again, I'm talking to my cousin Carlos today about it. You know, and of course that comes up. Oh, they have like all these shows coming out, and you know he's like, yeah, well, you know they have all that money sitting there. That money's not sitting there. The way that this works, for example, for Disney is liquid. You take some out, you throw some in, but the flow has to be
Yeah,
continuous.
continuous. Yup. It's a river.
So so Disney doesn't have all of this money sitting there waiting to make movies. Disney puts all of this money on this movie so
Gets
that
it
this
back.
movie can bring you back this much money. So you spend this money that this movie is gonna make you on this movie, and it never stops. So you're not necessarily, you don't have that money. That money is supposed to come. And that's why when movies fail or when movies flop, it's a big hit on the studios because that's
People
money
get
that they
fired.
already spent. They've already spent it on something else. And when you have a big IP, and this is also the reason why so many companies like Disney are not coming with new ideas because they need something that's guaranteed money because that guaranteed money is going somewhere else. So the only thing that's guaranteeing the money right now is streaming. You good? You all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought your camera stopped or something.
Yeah, no, I thought so too, but it didn't.
It didn't?
No.
Okay. And so the only thing that's guaranteeing the money in a flowing money is streaming, and not in a way that is the same as movies. But they found cheaper. They cutting. Mandalorian has just showed them how to cut price left and right, and they're getting more and more out of it. So where is the part? Where is the part where they fucked up by making all of these investments for things that don't come back? Like those Disney movies are all investments. They're not
Yep.
current. They're not money in their pocket. They're all investments.
It's all a
Where's
gamble.
the part? Right, and now they closed. Now they closed the casino. So you put all your money on red, and then they were like, "I come back tomorrow," and tomorrow fucking never came because that was that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's why they're coming out with more of the same product and the same flavor than trying, war stars. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we have a new product. You know what I mean? Like, nah, let's stick to what we know, and
Yeah, and
people like
let's
this.
get that
Okay,
money rolling. So I'm afraid of fatigue. We've seen it with things like Star Trek. Like Star Trek had, at one point, they had Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager on at the same time while producing the Next Generation movie. So then, non-stop for 3 years, you had Star Trek on television every fucking week. And I'm talking about 3 different shows on 2 different networks. And then you get this movie coming out, and it just feels like, do I need this much Star Trek?
it might
Fuck
be too many
Voyager.
different flavors. Not if it's the same.
Huh?
Not it might be too many different flavors. You know what I mean? Meaning by too many different entities controlling it. This is one entity that's gonna put one job. One
No,
guy. You know what I
man.
mean?
No. It's Star Trek, and it's all linear, and it's all under the same umbrella. It's one where they have a station. It's one where they're lost in space, and there's one which is Star Trek, the Star Trek you've always known, and you've known at that moment for 6, 7 years, right? So it fatigued. It got to the point where, and that first Star Trek Next Generation movie, Generations, wasn't bad, but people didn't like it because it was fatiguing. It was just like too much fucking Star Trek. Enough. I'm good. I'm good. Just give me a break. Fuck off. Go. Fuck off. Fuck off over there. And I'm afraid that will happen to Star Wars. But you're right that it's very different in that you're telling me an Obi-Wan story, which is it's a very different flavor than the Mandalorian story, which is a very different flavor than an Ahsoka story. But they're all in the same universe. And I'm afraid that people are going to get choked up with it. Like, all right, enough.
But if they do it right, they don't ever have to touch elbows. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
You
true.
know, because there's so many galaxies. You just it's a
That's also true. I hope that something like Marvel doesn't suffer from this time off. I'm hoping this time off really helps Marvel and to make people hungry for it because you're kind of restarting from scratch, right? At this point, I don't know why they wouldn't just release what's it called, Black Widow, but I also feel like Black Widow is the one that's a female lead and he deserves a bigger screen. You know what I mean? It's not an origin story because we already known Black Widow this whole time and she's been around for 10 years for
I
all
wonder
those
what the
movies.
hell is happening with that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I also will see all of your comments if you write any. And thank you for hitting like and subscribing.
Tell somebody to tell somebody.
That's right, baby. Peace in the Middle East.
We out.
That's the end of the video, and bye. Don't forget to subscribe. That's it.